A mission tsunami is cresting in Cuba as North American churches prepare to flood the island nation. They're spurred on by improved relations and travel that's gotten easier.
Any leader who's excited, who's trying to find where to be involved in the world or how to take his church to an exciting piece of Christianity, they think of Cuba.
Southern Baptist leader Jason Carlisle says interest took off last year when President Obama moved to improve relations with Cuba. Still, Carlisle and other mission leaders remain cautious. They want Americans to act primarily as learners and encouragers. That's because the Cuban church is booming and can share considerable experience with U.S. churches. One key accomplishment, it has started more than 15,000 churches in just the last 20 years.
It's not like we're going to this closed country where the gospel has not reached. It has. The believers are growing incredibly, just amazingly. House churches being planted everywhere.
This Christian-owned farm showcases the Cuban church's passion and creative approach to sharing the gospel. The farm funds a mission school that trains church-approved candidates for a year, then sends them to unreached areas of the island.
The vision of opening a school for missions was planted in our hearts by God.
Pastor Juan seized on a unique moment in 2008 when the Cuban government gave land to farmers. He took on fields plagued with thorny vegetation to fulfill his vision for a self-sustaining ministry. Today, close to 100 alumni have established new churches.
We don't have luxurious buildings or classrooms or luxurious accommodations, and these could be some obstacles to do the work of the Lord. These could be reasons to say, I can't do anything, but this does not stop us. We are moved by the vision and passion that we have.
And that vision and passion has led to a global focus. Despite incredibly limited resources, the Cuban church has begun a missionary movement of its own. It has already started sending missionaries to other countries.
Cuba is a missionary country. As a matter of fact, we've been preparing for many years to send people to other countries.
Hundreds of Cubans have recently responded to the call to foreign missions. This couple left this summer to work with an unreached group in Ecuador. Missions experts marvel at how God has uniquely prepared Cuban Christians for the mission field. For starters, they understand hardship.
The needs, the scarcity that we've gone through have been preparing us to go.
What Cubans have grown up in is what can be reproduced in just about any country of the world, particularly in areas that are of harder access, because you don't have to take a lot of resources, you don't have to take a worship team.
Cuban Christians also understand a very simple method of church planting.
The fact that they have been accustomed to working under severe limitations is a great advantage. You take the living Word of God and you teach it to people, you share the gospel, they become disciples, you disciple them, and you begin to start house churches.
Southern Baptists have even brought other Latin American missions teams into Cuba to observe the church planting movement. The idea, if Latin and North American Christians can reproduce what has happened in Cuba, the modern church could grow exponentially. Add an emerging Cuban missions movement, and the possibilities are endless. Reporting in Havana, Heather Sells, CBN News.